Hey everybody, it's Tony George along with Scott Spricer. Welcome to the Marquee Matchup, NCAA football style, Big Ten style. Here today we're going to be talking about Penn State and Ohio State. Be sure to get over to DocSports.com, click that link in the description below, get you a free $60, put it to work. Couple of hot streaks here in football right from us two amigos right here. Scott, here's a big game here. Ohio State's 8-game cover streak was snapped last week against lowly Rutgers. I just wanted to put them away and get ready for this. And, of course, get ready for Michigan next week. But they got a task in front of him here. Penn State coming in here with a loss, obviously, to Minnesota. But nonetheless, Scott, Ohio State, who you and I have talked about, who we have thought all year long has been the best and most consistent team in the country on both sides of the football, including special teams, including some very good coaching here. It's going to take some very good coaching here because Ohio State's supposed to cover an 18-point spread here, total 56.5 with the Nittany Lions coming to the shoe.
It's kind of tough when you have your cover streak blown when you score 56 points.
I know.
And you win by 35.
Yeah.
But they were laying 51.5, 52, so there you go. Anyway, as far as this game is concerned, listen, I'm trying to find reasons to back Penn State. I like James Franklin, no doubt about it. He's done a terrific job coming into what was kind of a mess, although O'Brien cleaned it up a little bit at Penn State. But Franklin comes in, and he's got a lot to deal with besides just recruiting and the X's and O's of the games themselves. But here's the problem I have with Penn State. They've got a quarterback who makes his mistakes at crucial times, like we saw against Minnesota. And then you've got an offense. I mean, really, if outside of that big, I guess, yardage game that they put up in the loss to Minnesota,
right.
If you look at the last few games outside of the game against the Gophers, Penn State's gained 371, 265, 283, 294. They got out-yarded again last week in the win over Indiana, won that game by a touchdown. I don't know that Franklin, who is as good as he is, has the talent to keep up with the Buckeyes if Ohio State gets off to a fast start. If this is, 21-6 with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter, it might get a little iffy for Penn State.
Right.
Because I don't know that you can count on Clifford to be able to fight back through the air with his arm. And if they're down 2 touchdowns second quarter in this game, all of a sudden you've got to kind of scrap the ground game, and you're looking to pass the football a little bit more, and then it can get ugly.
Well, one thing, you brought up a really good point. Penn State is not built to play from behind.
Sure.
We saw that up in Minnesota.
Yep.
They got down quick. They had to get rid of their game plan. The other thing you'll also notice, they've given up at least 2 sacks in the last 5 games in a row. And by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, Chase Young's coming off suspension. I think he's gonna try and he's gonna be a little fired up, make a statement in this game. And I think if they get into a situation where they're gonna throw the ball to play catch up, and Ohio State starts teeing off defensively on them on that pass rush, it's going to get ugly for Penn State. I honestly think Ohio State at home, the home field's worth a full 3 points here.
Yeah, the shoot.
At the shoot, and you're still taking it down. That takes it down to 15. I think Penn State's 3 touchdowns better in this ball game. I was surprised. A lot of people were surprised at the number. I wasn't. I think it's warranted, and I think Penn State's going to have a real tough time here with a very shaky offense, trading a bunch on the scoreboard.
Hey, listen, it could be wrong. I've been wrong before, believe it or not. I'll be wrong again. But it could be wrong in that I think that Penn State's going to have a rough time scoring more than 17. And even though this feels like a big number at 18, it's a situation where I think I would want my team to have a feeling that my team could score 27, 28 points, even getting 18 when you're going up against Ohio State. And I just don't. It's a situation where I think the Buckeyes are going to have to do something they haven't done all year, which is make mistakes, self-inflicted, costly mistakes on offense for Penn State to stay inside this number. We'll see. It's not going to be a premium pick for me this week, Tony.
Well, I'll tell you what. Look at the scoreboard in the Minnesota and Penn State game and add 15 points to what Minnesota put up against these guys and ask yourself whether Penn State can cover or not. That's just the initial thought there. This line should move by the end of the week. Be sure and check out the 10 at 10. Be sure and check out Scott Spricer's action.
8 play in college this week. Check it out.
You got one this week?
80% with these lifetime since I've been at Doc. So we've got one going this week in college.
Oh man! Well, guess what? He had a big one last week. Back-to-back 8s.
Yes, we had the NFL last week, college this week, and this guy has been winning since day one of the college football season.
That's right.
Be sure to jump on board over there also.
Nine out of the last 11 weeks we've cashed tickets, and 9-2 with top plays. Another big one this week. I think it's coming in the Big 12, a game we might have talked about in the 10-10, but
Yeah.
don't quote me. Check us out, DocSports.com.